Waiting on God is one of the hardest things you'll ever be asked to do. Not because you don't believe, not because you don't pray, but because waiting feels like silence, and silence feels like being forgotten. You prayed, you trusted, you did what you thought was right, and still, nothing happened. No answer, no sign, no breakthrough, just time passing. But here's the truth we often miss. Waiting on God is not wasted time. It's not a pause. It's not God ignoring you. Waiting is a process. In the Bible, some of the strongest people waited the longest. Joseph waited in prison before the palace. David waited years after being anointed king. Abraham waited decades for a promise that seemed impossible. If waiting meant God had abandoned them, none of their stories would exist. Sometimes God delays not because he's saying no, but because he's saying not yet. Because if he gave you what you're asking for right now, you might lose it, misuse it, or be crushed by it. Waiting is where God builds your character before he changes your circumstances. While you're asking God to change the situation, God might be trying to change you, to make you stronger, more patient, more rooted in faith, not outcomes. Waiting teaches you how to trust when there's no evidence, how to worship without results, how to stay faithful when prayers feel unanswered. And that kind of faith is powerful. Here's something important to remember. God is never late. We measure time by clocks. God measures time by purpose. What feels slow to you is often precise to him. So what do you do while waiting? You keep praying, but you also keep living. You obey even when it's hard. You stay faithful even when it's quiet. You stop rushing God and start resting in him. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. It means trusting God while doing what you can with what you have right now. And one day, often when you least expect it, the waiting will make sense. You'll look back and realize, if it had happened sooner, you wouldn't have been ready. If it had come earlier, it wouldn't have lasted. So if you're in a season of waiting, don't give up. Don't assume God has forgotten you. Don't mistake silence for absence. God is working, even when you can't see it. And the wait, it's shaping you for something greater than you asked for.